Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie and today I have a pattern collection of cute and feminine patterns that just make you feel like a fairy. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I am really excited for this video. Valentine's Day has just been last week and it inspired me to make this video because I felt like making something a bit more versatile, not just with like all hearts and pink and red for Valentine's Day, but a little bit more on the feminine side as well. So hence why I'm making this video. Like I said, I am just really excited. I put on a really cute dress that makes me feel like a fairy. I sewed this myself and I also just wanted something a little bit more spring-like because winter has been dragging on. It's very cold. We are in the -degrees right now and I just want to wear all of my cute dresses and really nice knitwear. So I think we can get started. Before we get into the patterns though, I want to explain to you what I understand under feminine. For me, a feminine pattern most of the times is with lace. Also the color choice, in my opinion, also makes a really big difference. Most of the times it's a white yarn, an off-white yarn, a beige yarn, just something very light and airy and flowy. With that also, for the yarn weight, it is maybe fingering to DK weight, nothing too heavy, nothing too structured. A lot of mohair is going to be involved and yeah, like I said, a lot of lace, because knitting lace is really fun and it just elevates a knitted piece to a really high standard, in my opinion at least. So let's get into all of the patterns that I have. I have quite a lot, so let's get through them now. The first one that I have is a cardigan. It is the Tied and True cardigan by Tamara Jordan. Really beautiful design. It's very unique. You have a puffed sleeve and the cardigan isn't tied with I-cord strings. It's actually tied with fabric strings. I think the ribbon itself just makes any garment just this more elevated, and especially the fabric that she used is a little bit shiny. It's maybe some like silk or plasticky type fabric, which gives it a really nice shine. So that is already a great detail. You have this really cute ruffle around the waist. The cardigan itself looks to be knitted up really fast. You use a lace weight and an 18 stitch gauge, so it's very open, and you use a fluffy yarn. So that is already a great start. For the construction, it's not very difficult, let's be honest. It's knitted flat most of the times, apart from the sleeves, of course. You need an I-cord at the bottom and around the sleeves. You can make the sleeves long or short sleeved, and to me the design is really cute and elegant because of the deep V. In her pattern pictures, she is wearing this really nice polka dot black and white dress and she's wearing the cardigan on top of it, and to me that just makes the whole outfit really nice because you have the V of the cardigan, so you can still see the neckline of the dress. You have a really nice bust line, and the short or long sleeved version, depending on what you like, can really add some warmth for maybe those colder summer nights or just colder days in general when you are wearing a dress. Staying with the cardigan theme, we have this social wrap cardigan by Alexandra Solovianiuk. I'm really sorry about the pronunciation, but Alexandra has some really beautiful feminine patterns. A lot of her patterns are with lace stitches, and for this one it is a wrap cardigan. I do like wrap cardigans. It really cinches in the waist, and you have this really nice big bow at the side of your waist to also draw the eye towards this point. Because it's a wrap, you also have a v-neck again, and with this one it is a drop shoulder design, and you have the lace only at the front. The back panel is knitted in just plain stockinette stitch, and you use a 21 stitch gauge, so a DK weight. I think you have a lot of variety with this one. You can really pick and choose yarn wise what you want the garments to look like. You can hold it with a fingering and lace weights together to give it a little bit more structure, or if you want to go full out for that fluff factor, you can even hold 2 lace weights together, maybe 2 mohairs or 1 mohair, 1 brushed alpaca, depending on also how tightly you knit and what gauge you can achieve with these things. This pattern has been on my list for a really long time. I am still unsure what I want this to look like. Not only color wise, I will probably go for something beige or off-white, because again it just makes the outfit very clean, very polished, also very fresh, and I want my pieces to be versatile, so I can throw them on with any colored dresses that I have in my wardrobe, and I know it will just fit with all of the different colors that I have. Then we have the first sweater pattern. This is the Wisteria jumper by Long Avec Anna. Really beautiful design. Again, a lace panel at the front and the back. There is just something about bubbles that I can't explain, but it just makes the piece really cute. I have knit quite a few of them for this pattern. I think she does include a special technique for how to make them, because I have had troubles in the past where the bubbles kind of disappeared into the background due to how they were constructed. But from the looks of it, that doesn't happen with this pattern. All of them look really perky and at the front of the garment, which is great. The sleeves are just plain stockinette, but you have a really nice balloon shape at the bottom, so you have like a blousey bishop sleeve situation, which again just is very versatile for a jumper or sweater pattern. For the stitch gauge, she uses a 20 stitch gauge, so that is a little bit heavier than a DK weight, so you can hold a fingering and lace weights together. You need 4.5mm needles. That is a fairly big size for me at least, so I think it does knit up fairly fast, also depending on how well you can read lace charts, etc. It has a really big size range. It ranges from 80cm bust size to 160cm bust size, and for the ease it is recommended, where do we have it, a positive ease of 5 to 10 centimeters. So you can make the garment a little bit tighter fitting if you wish, or size up a size for a looser fit, but not be drowning in the piece. Next up we have a fairly new pattern. It's the Champagne Pullover by Sari Nordland. This one is an all over lace pullover. We all know Sari Nordland is the queen of lace, and she hasn't disappointed us with this one. It only released in September last year, and when I saw it I really wanted to make it, but I am a little bit hesitant because of all of the lace. So it does seem to be a labor of love for this one. You have a DK weight once again. She uses 1 strand of mohair and 1 strand of fingering weight. I love that. Again, you have the fluff factor, and for the sizes, again, really big size range. The positive ease is quite a lot. It's 20 centimeters, so it seems to be a bit of a looser fitting garment, not as tight as the other patterns. And overall, I love Sari Nordland's patterns. They're always really well written. She has the charts and the written instructions. I don't know if it's true for this pattern, but quite a lot of the times she does have both of them in it, which I really like because I like to work from charts. It might just seem really intimidating at first, but it is a repetitive lace pattern. You can even see that in the pullover itself. It's the same lace chart. It's like a diamond shape, just diagonally or stacked on top of each other. So I think it's very doable, but it does seem to be a lot of work, and you do need a lot of time. It is a drop shoulder design. Maybe that will make it go quicker for knitting the flat sections. I don't know, maybe it's just a bit of a drag, but I will be making this sweater eventually. I don't know when, probably not in the near future, just because it's so intense and I have a lot of other projects that I want to make first. Now we get into t-shirts, and I have the Eloise Top by Friday knits. She has some beautiful patterns as well, very cute, very feminine. This pattern is knit up in a sport weight gauge, the first sport weights that we have so far. This is a gauge of 22 stitches. Again, it has a really nice see-through top, like top from the top, and a beautiful keyhole at the back for the closure, so you can have a really beautiful button at the back, as big or as small as you want it. The pattern itself ranges from XS to 4XL, and you're knitted on fairly small needles. You knitted on a 3.75mm needles as the biggest one, but I think the pattern just makes it up for that size out just with its sheer beauty. You have the top with bobbles at the top, and then once you split for sleeves you go into a stockinette portion and even a ribbed section in the back, so it does cinch in and really hug your body. You have the puff sleeve design again. Puff sleeve are also something very cutesy, and for the ease you have a negative ease of 0 to 2 inches. So again, you can choose however wide or small you want it, but it is designed to be a very form-fitting piece. Now I know she also has this pattern in a dress version. I'm not gonna go through this, but if you are interested in making a dress, I would recommend checking that one out as well. When we're talking about cute tops, of course I have to include the Souffle by Laura Penrose. This has been all over the internet when it came out back in 22, and I can definitely tell why. It has grown on me. I have to say I wasn't a very big fan at the beginning, but it has grown on me. Also by seeing more and more people work on it in different colors as well, with different yarns. For this one you use 2 lace weights to get a fingering weight, and the gauge is 20 stitches. You have 2 different tops and bottoms, just like the other top. The top one is a bit more see-through, and then you have this beautiful ruffle detail which just makes the top the top. And then at the bottom I assume you hold the yarn double, or just like a thicker gauge, so you have a more see-through part at the top and then a denser fabric at the bottom, where you obviously don't want people to see through. You can change this pattern to a long or short sleeved one, whatever you prefer. And again, you have a keyhole detail at the back to have a really beautiful button there as well. I think that is a really nice detail to have, or the option to have as well. I think you have to have your hair up most of the times for this one if you have a keyhole pattern, a keyhole detail in the back. Otherwise to me there is no point in having the keyhole there if you just wear your hair down most of the times. So for me personally, I don't think I would include that, just because I always wear my hair down apart from the summer. But I wouldn't wear this shirt in the summer anyways, because I know it would be way too thick. The last shirt that I have is the Barbara blouse by Pernilla Larsen. We've seen this pattern all over as well, but I think it just has to have a comeback. I want to make this when I get around to it. It's a all over lace pattern once again, long sleeved with a closure at the back. Again, a keyhole detail, but this time you use 3 buttons instead of just 1. I think this would be a really fun knit. It is very repetitive all over all the time. Ease wise, we're looking at around oh, it doesn't say. It just says negative ease. I thought it would give you a little bit of a range. So I guess you can make it as tight fitting or as loose fitting as you want. I would probably go for something tighter just because I really want the lace to open up. And for me, with a pattern like this, it is best to have it tighter fitting and to really showcase the stitch pattern, especially since you're putting so much work and effort into it. The sleeves are very straight down, but you have a very nice ruffle, or not ruffle, but like ribble effect at the bottom of not only the sleeves but also the body. I think you can make it into a cropped version and that would look really cute. This is also more of a spring type pattern in my opinion, because it is long sleeved and you use a 20 stitch gauge. She recommends knitting for olive merino. The yarn weight is light fingering, so it will take a while to knit this one up, especially because you're working on 3mm needles the whole time, but I think it would be really worth it at the end. Now, before we get into the accessories, I have one dress pattern that I would like to mention just because it caught my eye, and as I mentioned before, I'm really into bows. This one is the Knit Girl Summer Top and Dress. So you can make it into just the top version, but you can also extend it into the dress version, which is great. This pattern is by Joanne Ho. She uses a DK weight for the stitch gauge, and the size range is from XS to 6XL. That is a really wide range. Ease wise, she hasn't included anything, but from what I can tell, it's probably a tighter fitting garment. I would probably make the dress version. You can include a slit detail to make it flow a little bit better. And what really caught me with this pattern are the really long strings at the shoulder. As I said now a million times, I really like bows, and I think especially I-cord bows just look really elegant and elevates the piece instead of just normal straps. So I think it can also be adjusted. I know with dresses, especially knit with summer yarns like cotton or bamboo or something like that, those fibers do tend to stretch out over time and because of the weight. So I love that you have bows, because you can then adjust the dress if it drags or hangs too low eventually, and just tighten that one up again. Right, now onto accessories, and I do have a sock pattern here. It is the Elfin Lace sock by Hiris H, or Hiris Makes, as she calls herself on the website. I do have a discount code if you're interested in any of her patterns. You can check out the link below. For these ones, this is a free pattern. It is a lace sock and an ankle sock as well. I've never made ankle socks before, but I think they are great for getting all of the scraps, the sock yarn scraps, out of your stash because you shorten them in length. They just seem to be very cute to design, also isn't very difficult. It's, in my opinion, a very standard lace detail or lace design, and the pattern comes only in one size, but I think since they are socks, any like sock knitter knows how to extend or shorten a sock, or if not, then you can always try on the sock and see, do you want another repeat or when to start the toe, etc. So to me they are very versatile. It also doesn't need a lot of yarn. It's between 170 and 200 meters, and I think for sock scraps you have that lying around somewhere anyways. I really like the white version because they just make it really cute again. I think also for those Mary Jane shoes, I have not the exact shoes, but the style of the Mary Jane shoes, and I think if you wear these socks underneath it, that will just look incredible with a really cute dress and then maybe a cardigan on top. That is just my ideal outfit. So yeah, go and make some lace socks. The second sock pattern is a little bit different. This is the I Had Socks by Stone Knits. It's an all over color work sock, and they just really spoke to me. I don't know why, maybe it's because I had a look at them on Valentine's Day or just before, and it just reminded me of it. But I really like the pink and red color variation. Stone Knits has lots and lots of color work socks. She's like the go-to person if you want to make a fun color work sock, so I'm really happy to include her in this video. For the pattern itself, she uses a standard fingering weight yarn. I've never made a color work sock before, but I am very intrigued. I know that her patterns are always really well written. You have 3 different sizes, but again, for socks you can kind of gauge when to stop for the toe. They are cuffed down, so you can adjust it when you get to the part when to start the toe. And yeah, they're just really cute, so that's why I wanted to include it. And the last pattern that I have is something very small. It's the December bow by Petite Knit. This pattern has been all over Instagram, especially around the Christmas time. I really like the hair accessory version, but of course you can also just put a string on it and then hang it up somewhere, or gift it, I guess. It uses a DK weight, 22 stitches, and a 3.5mm needles. It is a garter stitch, so I think it will knit up very fast, and it just makes it really cute. I like hair accessories quite a lot. I don't wear them nearly enough as I probably could, and for this one I think if you don't want to include any knitwear anywhere else in your outfit, this can really have that handmade crafty personality come through. Since it's using a DK weight, you can use a fingering and a lace together to get that fluff factor, but of course you don't have to. You can also just use a normal DK weight to get it a little bit more structured and clean looking. It's also a great stash buster because it doesn't need a lot of yarn. It only uses about 100 meters, and I think for that we all have those oddballs we don't know what to do with, especially for me, the hand-dyed skeins that I have left over to make one of these bows and use up every last bit. Of course, it is only coming in one size, but it is a very versatile pattern. I think you can make it smaller if you desire to, by just adjusting the stitches you increase to, and the length as well if you don't want, or if you want a longer tail of the bow or a smaller one, whatever you want. I think it's a great pattern to have in your stash as an accessory, or even as a gift knit for those special people in your life. Whew, we made it through. Those are all the patterns that I thought would be great in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you would knit any of the patterns that I've mentioned, or if you have knitted any of them already. Let me know down below, and like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. It does help me out a lot, and I'm gonna see you next week with another podcast episode. Until then, happy knitting and see you later. Bye!